What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to a new video on the channel. Welcome to some more Carx Street. For today's video, I'm going to try and have a quick little look at another public test beta version of this game. So every now and then, the people from Carx Street who've created this game, they come out with a little bit of it's kind of like a beta update, just to test out a couple of things with the game, and then of course the community and the people that play the game can get a chance to actually play it and try it out and see what it's like, and obviously they can give feedback to the developers to see what they can change and need to do. The way to do this, by the way, is you go to your Steam and you basically go into your properties on the game itself and select the public test version, and then you just update the game and play it. And then after you finish, you can just go ahead and remove that public test like little tab that's on your game. The same way you put it on, you just take it off and then you go back to playing the regular game again. So basically it's just a nice little way to test out maybe some upcoming features with this game. So in today's video I'm going to test out a couple of them, because there's a few things that they've decided to kind of change and improve, hopefully. And like I said, I want to try and see what exactly it's like. So we'll start off with the improved physics settings. So apparently the way the car is handling, I don't think there's anything to do with the actual settings themselves. It says improved physics settings. I don't think there's anything to do with the settings here. So there's no actual settings in here. I mean, you have the stabilization for the assistant, and that's pretty much it. And then you have some force feedback, but that's about it. So I don't think it's settings. I think it's just improved physics. So I think they've worked with a little bit of the physics with this game, so they kind of hopefully improved it slightly. They've also improved they adjusted the weight balance of the car's bodies, so it should feel a little bit weird. Also, they increased, or whatever, they raised the center of gravity for cars, so it's not as low as it was before, which means that we probably could be getting a little bit more body roll. So it should be a little bit different to drive. I mean, right now, because I hopped on this game without playing the first version of it, or whatever, the original version of the game, I need to go and kind of play it back to back. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and drive around in my Mustang here a little bit, just to see, and then I'm going to hop onto the base game and then try it out. Also, they ended up adding Slipstream, so I really want to check that out. I'm going to go through everything on this list, by the way, just so I can explain it to you guys. So, improved the physics settings, that's one thing. Improved game performance on hardest drives and slower SSDs. Adjusted the weight balance when changing car bodies. Body swaps are more effective now for C3 class cars. Reduced the tuning range for the air resistance and transmission losses. So whenever you go into your tuning settings and you go to tune your transmission and your air resistance as well for aero, they've changed they increased the transmission losses and air resistance losses. So basically you can just tune it a little bit more. Raise the center of gravity for cars, which I was just saying. Fix the bug that allowed the cars to have an advantage when using larger wheels. So there you go. That was the thing, I guess, before. The only reason why I ended up picking larger wheels before was what I was trying to do with top speed runs. So that, I don't know if that's going to change or not, but I guess that was the thing. Improved tire road grip. So in one of the previous public test versions, they actually ended up changing the way the cars handle in the game by improving or changing the way the tires gripped up, and that was actually really cool. But I don't know if they've actually released it into the game yet, so I think now it's still in public test versions of this game. Expanded the brake tuning range, there you go. Optimized gear ratio settings for stock gearboxes, which is good, because some of them, I remember I was doing like top speed in like 3rd gear. I remember, I think the E39 was one of them. 5 Series, that was a funny one that had like a very weird set of gear ratios, I guess, for the stock transmission. Increased low-end engine torque, improved throttle simulation, accuracy for gamepads and steering wheels. Again, like I said, I'm gonna have to play back-to-back with the original game just to see what it's like, so we'll do that. Increased the weight of the LSS engine and added slipstream effects, smoothened out some angular roads, and then control assistant settings have been added. Cool. That is all fine and dandy. We went through that pretty quick. I want to try to do the elite race in this thing. I also wanted to see what it's like to Wait, there's some new races. Oh, it's because I'm in the public test version of this game. I was like, what? Wait a second here. I don't have any of these completed. None of my cars are in any of these events. It's because of the public test version of this game. Surely they didn't like rewind back all of my cars. I was like, wait a second here. But no, everything, as you can see, is still registered to the correct one. Actually, these ones here aren't registered, even though I registered the both of these ones. So hopefully, when I go back to the original game, it should be fine. All right, let's do one of these races. Should I just do? I'll just do just any of the regular ones, and I want to see what exactly it's like. Just a sprint one, which should be fine. I want to try to see what it's like to properly handle this car around some corners, and also I want to try to see the slipstream effect. It's also super interesting. And then, like I said, I'm going to go back onto the original game and see what that's like. So, of course, some of the features in this game I'm not going to be able to check out. Like, I'm not going to be able to check out the weight of the LSS engine, right? Alright, let this guy get ahead. Okay, that's kind of cool. That is oh my god, I'm sorry. Okay, can you see how slow I'm accelerating in fourth, right? Okay, I'm not even paying attention, I'm just driving. And you can see how slow I'm kind of accelerating in fourth gear. I want to catch up to him and then try to get behind him and then start accelerating. It actually seems to work. Okay. I love how I'm saying actually as if it's like... As if it's like something something that shouldn't happen. Okay, it takes quite a bit for me to actually try and actually slide this car, whereas usually I feel like it's definitely a lot more ridiculous and a lot more sideways prone, this Mustang. I think hopefully the tune for this thing is also the same, so I don't know if I've like, this feels like it's the same as it's been before. 348 and 1121. All right, cool. Let me quit the game, and then I'm gonna go ahead and change it back to the regular version of the game, and I want to see what that's like now with the difference in tire grip and the raised gravity, and obviously the slipstream setting. It's gonna change, and plus the improved physics apparently that they've changed. So give me 1 sec. All right, we're back. Different car though this time, so I need to swap over. Yeah, we are back. I don't know why I'm sliding, but just to break it in a little bit, you know what I mean? All right, let me swap over to the old Mustang. It's pretty similar. Pretty similar. Anyway, let's do this event, and I want to try to see what exactly it's what's different about the way this car drives, because it's tuning wise, I don't think it's that different to the way it was before. I don't know if I changed anything. Maybe I made it a little bit lighter or something like that. Oh no, it was the gear ratios, wasn't it? I kind of changed the gear ratios of this thing, so that's pretty much the only thing that I've really changed. Right, how am I supposed to... oh my god, how am I supposed to check my slipstream if everybody's just flying off the mountain? Yeah, so it feels faster now just because of my gear ratios. Let's have a look at what it's like around corners. Right. Did you notice how instantly I went sliding? Instantly! I wasn't even like close. I mean, I built it like this so it's easy to go around corners, and it's very, very, like, smooth going around corners sideways. If I'm going a bit too fast, I'd rather be oversteering and still making it around corners than, like, understeering and flying into the walls. And these guys catch up already. I'm literally just cruising right now because I'm trying to let them catch up. Obviously, there's not going to be any slipstream effect now behind them. Yeah, man, this thing, like, wants to go sideways. See what I mean? Like, that is kind of how I built this car. That's my build on this thing. That's just how I wanted it, but... obviously with the different physics settings that we've had on the public test version of this game, then of course this thing is gonna be quite a lot grippier and a little bit better. No slipstream here at all. I'm just faster. My car is just straight up faster than the M2. But yeah, this thing wants to kind of go sideways. It's actually quite interesting. I can't really tell the difference between the throttle changes. I want to try to see if I can just stop fully and then start revving it. We'll see what that's like. So let me finish this off. Alright. Just see if I'm standing still. Maybe? A tiny bit? Maybe I'm just getting like some sort of an effect that it feels like I'm like it's slightly different, but it definitely feels a little bit different. I don't want to be like, you know, annoying and be like, oh yeah, this is completely different. So they've improved the accuracy on how cars' throttle systems work in this game, so that's why I'm trying to figure out. Because like, this thing is on Racing Plus tires, right? And I'm still able to do this, and I think with that update, I'm not going to be able to do stuff like this by setting it fully sideways, because I can genuinely just drift this car if I really wanted to. I mean, it's got super grippy tires, but I don't think this is going to be possible with the public test version. It definitely didn't feel like it. Anyway, raising and lowering the center of gravity also just doesn't feel like much. Maybe it'll be a little bit more effective on cars that aren't tuned as much as this car. Maybe that's a big thing. And of course we've had it in a previous public test version of this game where they improved the grip for the tires. And I remember I had for one of my drift cars to go up in the set of tires, right, because of the changes that they made with the actual tire difference. So before, what I used to be able to slide around with just a random, I was gonna say, with the regular street tires, and then obviously then I had to change to Street Plus tires. So it's just small little changes like that, you know, that ended up making a difference, like a noticeable difference when you're hopping from the regular version of the game to the public test version of the game. Also, I wonder when they're adding this this update, if they're going to be actually adding the racetrack. So I've been told by a bunch of people in the comments of my videos that there is actually a racetrack that's coming to this game very soon. We don't know exactly when it's coming to the game because they haven't really announced it, but apparently there is a racetrack that's being added over to this game at some point. So that should be super interesting to try and test out. And apparently there's also a new club coming out, because right now, as you can see, I've completed every single one of these clubs. There is no club here that's left standing. I've finished the game basically, and I have every car registered to every single club. So every now and then I'm just doing stuff for the clubs. So here's the thing as well. So what I've been doing is I've been also trying to get myself some of the achievement cars in this game. Some people were saying, it's like, why don't I make a series on this game, or try to make some videos on this game of me trying to get these cars? It's because some of them require just me driving around. So me just doing this right now, right? All I'm doing is driving around. One of the cars just requires me to just drive around and just get a distance. Another car just requires me to kind of just drift around and get the distance in that. It's just there's no point. I'm gonna hop into the leadership so I can show you guys exactly. There's no point in me making an entire series on something like that where it's completely pointless, right? I need to do these ones to get event cars. They'd be kind of interesting to try and win if they kind of tried to get rid of some of the cheaters on the leaderboards, because sometimes you will have cheaters at the top of the leaderboards. But they did change, and they ended up messing around with the way the cars end up using their NOS and stuff like that. Apparently they removed pausing from the game, so you can't pause the game and let your NOS recharge or whatever the thing was. Is that, I'm guessing that's what people were doing. That's what I've been told in the comments of some of my videos when I was making the videos on those. Anyway, but this one is get a gold crown for the single races or get a gold crown for the single races completed on R1 achievement. So there you go. I need to do a bunch of these single races and try to win as many of them as possible. This one, of course, is for the drift distance. I think it's 800 kilometers of drifting. This one is gonna go for the elite races, so just have to do a bunch of elite races with this thing, or with the cars in this game. And then I'll end up eventually getting this. And then this one, I'm pretty sure, is for the distance driven. Yep. So I think it's, I don't even know how much it is. 5,000 kilometers, 3,000 kilometers, 4,000. Can't remember, but I still have to go because I'm still in like bronze. I'm pretty sure if I go into this, you'll be able to see my distance driven. I'm still at 707, so I'm still really, really low. And then the regular distance driven is still on bronze at 2,500 kilometers, as you can see on the right side of the screen. So I still have a long way to go. Elite race is completed. I've completed 54, and I'm still at bronze. So there's still a long ways away until I end up getting some of these cars. And then, of course, we got this one, because this one, all I had to do is just drive 400 kilometers an hour. So again, the road to actually getting these cars here is basically just repeating stuff over and over and over again. So it's not worth me making a video, if that makes sense, or making videos on doing this. I hope that, like, you know, fixes your people's obsession with me trying to make a series on this game on trying to get the achievement cars, because there's no point. It's just stuff that needs to be redone over and over and over again. That's pretty much it. Alright, so the things that I could test out have been tested out in this game. The things that actually made a difference and is worth checking out, as in the car's handling physics, because that is a big thing. Whenever a game changes or starts to alter the game's handling physics or how the car drives in a game, it's always like a, you know, hold your breath. You know, have they done a good job or have they done a bad job? So it's really, really good for games to introduce these like beta versions of this game where they can test out and see what the people think, you know, and what it's like. So, of course, when you're racing, you don't want a ton of oversteer. So whenever you're doing stuff like that, so it's nice to see that this car is feeling a little bit more balanced out when I'm in the public test version of this game versus now, you know. And like I said, obviously some of these changes we're only going to be noticing on completely stock cars, and it's not going to be like, you know, world changing. It's not going to be like completely different driving physics for the cars, but it is something that is probably going to be slightly noticeable and made so, you know, people can have a better time driving the cars that they've purchased. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We'll see most likely some of these changes being added into a future update. So yeah, anyway, like I said, to try it out for yourselves and just to see what it's like, all you have to do is just hop on Steam and then just change your game's parameters to boot up with the public test version of this game enabled, and that's pretty much it. That is it. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.